Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to a Viva-Mundo webinar. Today we are hosting Invest in Northern Ireland. We have the lovely Queen's University Belfast and Niall as well from another Invest in Northern Ireland webinar. Okay, so let me start off with Fard. Shall I hand the floor over to you?
Great, thank you, Stav. Good afternoon, good evening, and I guess good morning, wherever you're listening to us today from. A big, warm Northern Irish welcome to all of you. My name is Fahad. I work at Invest Northern Ireland, which is Northern Ireland's economic development agency, and I'm based out here in Dubai. Northern Ireland is a fantastic destination for international students. We've got two world-leading universities, Queen's University Belfast and Ulster University. And this is the last in our series of webinars that we've done with Viva-Mundo. So I'm joined today by Niall, the regional manager for Middle East and Africa at Ulster University, and Khalid, who is the regional manager for Middle East and Africa at Queen's University Belfast. And today, this is an opportunity for all of you to ask us questions about studying in Northern Ireland, either at Queen's or at Ulster, and very much an opportunity for both Niall and Khalid to tell you about their own universities, what makes them so great, and why you should consider studying in Northern Ireland. So I'll kickstart the conversation. Niall, if I can bring you in very quickly, give us a flavor of what Ulster University is all about and why students from the Middle East should consider Ulster as their study choice.
Yeah, thank you, Fahad. So yes, my name is Niall McAleer. I am part of the global recruitment and engagement team here at Ulster University. So Ulster University, we are a multi-campus university based here in Northern Ireland, and we have a range of courses across various disciplines and levels as well. So the reason it's so attractive, I suppose, for students coming from the Middle East is that we pretty much offer everything that students will be looking for. If you're coming in, perhaps you have completed your high schooling and you're not quite ready for direct entry into university, we do offer foundation courses. We offer bachelor degree programs, and we offer master's programs and PhDs. So students really can take on their entire higher education journey through our institution, or through starting at our institution and perhaps moving to other institutions within the UK if that is what they sort of desire to do. As a university, we have a huge international population. Around 10% of our overall student body would be international students, and the total population of our university is around 26,000 students. So quite a large university. Like I said, it's multi-campus. So we have 4 locations across Northern Ireland. And depending on the course that you choose to study with us, it will be in one of those key locations. Some of those locations are in the capital city of Belfast, so they're in the city environment, and others are in a smaller town-like environment, so on the north coast of Northern Ireland. So again, slightly different environment. It would still have that student feel about the area, and you would feel like you're part of that student community and student campus. But it would just be in a slightly quieter part of the country. But again, it depends on what a student's ambitions are and what they're most attracted to when looking for a destination for their university. I suppose that, really, Fahad, the question about why come to Northern Ireland specifically, for us, I know we'll probably go into this a little bit more in detail, but really the selection of courses, the quality of education that we do provide here, and also the affordability, I suppose, would be the top 3 things that I would highlight as Northern Ireland. And, I speak from Ulster's point of view, and that's what we would sort of like to encourage students to understand if they're considering coming to us.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Niall. And guys, for all of you who are listening to us, who are watching this webinar, we want to try and keep it quite interactive. So do use the chat function to ask any questions that you might have. It could be about entry requirements or anything specific that you'd like to know about Northern Ireland or Queen's University Belfast or Ulster as well. Khalid, over to you very quickly. Why should students think about considering Queen's University Belfast or Northern Ireland?
Thank you, Fahad, and welcome to everybody attending the event today. Just to give the people a quick brief about me, I'm originally Egyptian. I'm based in Dubai, so I'm actually from the Middle East. Queen's University Belfast or North Ireland, it's very unique in different things.
I don't know if it's just me, but I think there's a lot of distortion in the mic, Khalid.
I don't know, can you hear me properly? I can't.
There's a lot of background noise. Niall, is that the same for you as well? There's a lot of background noise.
Maybe one.
As it happens with technology, okay, now the background noise is gone, but I think we can't hear you anymore, Khalid. Okay. We're trying to fix it, guys, but do use the chat function, ask us questions. And also the previous webinars that we've done, we've had students from Queen's and Ulster actually joining us, but this time it's just the staff members, but we're very happy
about now
contact with students from both of these universities, and it could be students from your own countries as well who are actually studying in Northern Ireland. So we're very happy to facilitate those conversations as well. But yeah, back to Khalid.
Yeah, can you hear me properly now?
Perfect.
Okay, great. I do apologize for that. So like I was saying, I'm originally Egyptian. I'm based in Dubai. And North Ireland is very unique for students, especially coming from the Middle East. One of the main things is Belfast and North Ireland is one of the safest place for students. And this is very important for students coming, especially in the undergraduate program. Also, it's one of the lowest place of cost of living, which is very important for self-funded student as well. And we do offer a huge number of programs from English, pathway, directly to the university, master's and PhD. For example, we do have more than 209 undergraduate program, 100 and plus master program, and huge range of PhD program. That being said, as Queen's University, we are one of the top ranked 200 worldwide. We are a Russell Group university. For students who are not aware what's Russell Group, it's like the Ivy League in the US universities. More than that, we do have more than 20 subjects are in the top 20 in the UK. It covers electrical engineering, electronics, pharmacy, dentistry, medicine, and business as well. So this is a quick view about Queen's, about living in Belfast, and definitely we will go more into details while the event is going on.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Khalid. And the questions have started to pop in as well. And it's quite a timely question because that would have been my next point as well. Obviously, this has been an unusual last couple of years for everyone with the global pandemic, COVID-19, travel restrictions, lockdowns, and whatnot. So the question I've got is, will I have to isolate in a hotel when coming from a red list country? One thing that I would want to add here is that this is an evolving situation, and the UK government, I think it's every couple of weeks they have a media briefing where these traffic light countries are sort of announced, and I believe there's an announcement coming tomorrow where there might be some more changes. But as things stand, students coming from red list countries, they have to isolate. But Niall, my question to you, I guess, linking to this particular element is, what sort of support has been put in place by Ulster for students during COVID? And also, are there any special support packages available in terms of this red list and quarantines?
Yeah, absolutely. We're very aware this is obviously a very important topic for students who are deciding to come to the UK. And all universities in the UK are actively aware of the safety of their staff and students, both on campus and those arriving into Northern Ireland to attend campus courses. For us at Ulster University, and I think I speak on behalf of, I guess, perhaps myself and Queen's, in saying that both our universities are covering the cost of hotel self-isolation for students coming into the UK. So if you do hold an offer for Ulster University or for Queen's, students arriving in from a red list country, provided that you have all your receipts and documentation to show where you have flown from, you've shown that you've made your booking of your self-isolation, you have all those receipts in place, then that money will be, you will receive that money back. So at Ulster University, the process we have is that that money will be discounted from your tuition. So you won't actually get the money physically back into a bank account. We will simply discount that amount from your tuition fees, so that it's a cost that you initially will pay, but obviously we will cover the cost of that once you are enrolled at the university. Just another, I suppose, a sideline of that as well, for any students who perhaps happen to be watching this and perhaps are in an amber list country, those students are required to self-isolate when they come to Northern Ireland, so they can travel safely through the UK and get to Northern Ireland. But our accommodation team, we do have a very specific 2-week, 10-day self-isolation package. All the details are on the website as well. It's a very, very competitively priced package to allow those students to come, and it covers their accommodation, all of their bills. It has an initial food package. It has a food voucher as well for ordering food online, and all of the support for being on campus. So as a university, we very much are prioritizing the safety, and I guess just to make sure that that welcome for students is as safe and comfortable and as, as stress-free as possible.
Khalid, anything that you'd like to add to this?
Yes, thank you. I think Neil covered everything, because yes, this is one of the most important thing for us. Maybe I think I will add a specific thing that we have just announced the pickup from the airport as well, to make sure that we add to what Neil said, for quarantine, for covering the fees for the quarantine if they are coming from the red zone country. That being said, like you said, there will be announcement tomorrow, and depending on this announcement, and as well, our website will be updated if there is any extra thing required by the government. One of the main things that the students should be aware about, that for us in North Ireland, in Belfast, we are very keen to make it very easy, very simple for the student to reach to the campus, and in the same time to be safe and being welcome in different subjects.
Okay. And I guess one of the questions that pops up quite a bit, and I see in the Q&A as well, a lot of people are asking about scholarships. So I guess I'll package this question in a way, starting with you, Niall. What are the, roughly speaking, what are the fees and scholarships that are being offered at Ulster? And also, if you can give us a sense of, obviously living expenses in Northern Ireland are quite competitive. So give us a sense of how much it would cost, in terms of the living as well, both on campus and off campus, just so that students get a sense of what the fees are going to be, what potential scholarships could be explored, and how much is it going to cost for them to live. Obviously, with the caveat that all the courses are priced differently and the living expenses vary a great deal as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose to start, it's really, really important to be aware of your financial circumstances before you apply to a university. One thing I would say is that here in the UK, very few universities will offer a 100% scholarship. There are partial scholarships, and it's important to be aware of that although you may get a discount from tuition or you may get something towards accommodation, it is important for students to be aware that you need to have finances in place for your education also. It very, very rarely would be that absolutely every single element of your finances would be covered by any form of scholarship. So to give you an idea of pricing here at Ulster University, the tuition fees for our undergraduate and postgraduate programs are typically £14,910 per year. We do offer, for self-funded students, we offer a £2,000 scholarship discount, which you would get automatically when you apply, and we see that you're an international applicant paying for your fees yourself. In addition to that, there are a number of scholarships that are available. So we have a specific website, or sorry, a specific page on the website with international scholarships. Some of them are country specific. So this year, for example, we had the GREAT Scholarship, and that was for students from particular countries or that held citizenship or a passport from a particular country. So it was for Ulster, we had India, Pakistan, Ghana, Egypt, Kenya, and those students were able to apply for any master's level program, and the discount for that, it was a £10,000 scholarship. So that was a very high scholarship for tuition. But again, it's always worth noting that that is the tuition, that is towards tuition. There are still the accommodation and living costs that go with coming to study in the UK. In addition to that, we've had a number of other course-specific scholarships available. So I know that here at Ulster, we had a scholarship for data science. We had a scholarship for a law master's program as well. And various programs, departments will release scholarships. So it's always worth keeping an eye on the website for that. In terms of accommodation and the costing of that, typically here in Northern Ireland, living on campus, it's always a little bit more expensive because it includes all of your bills: heating, gas, electricity, water, Wi-Fi, and insurance for any of your possessions as well. So the cost here at Ulster for the accommodation starts at around £115 per week. And that would be inclusive of everything. And that can go right up to around £135, £140 per week if you're looking for your own private apartment, effectively. But all managed accommodation, the rooms will be en suite. So you will have your own bathroom, and you would either share a kitchen and living space with either 2, 3, 4, or up to 5 other people, depending on the price range of accommodation that you have looked at. Living off campus can be considerably cheaper, but we would only really encourage this for students who are either familiar with Northern Ireland or Belfast, if they're coming, or if you have completed your first year and you're familiar. It's just best in terms of meeting other people, getting settled in, and just not having to, work out your finances in a different currency for the very first time. In a city that you're not familiar with. But accommodation then, if you live off campus, can start anywhere from around £230, £240 per month. Now that does not include bills. So on top of that, you'd be talking around maybe £50 to £60 per month for electricity and heating or gas. So again, it's just important to be aware of those additional costs that come with living off campus as well.
Fantastic. And Khalid?
Yes, thank you, Fad. So I'll go, we have different scholarship. I will just give a quick brief about our scholarship. So our fee is first for undergraduate, if it's classroom based, it's around 17,400. If it's lab based, which is mainly engineering and this kind of program, is 21,400. And our scholarship, it's £2,500 for the classroom base, and this is automatic. And for the lab base is £3,000, and this is automatic once the student get accepted. That being said, if the student maintain 75% every year, they will get a merit scholarship with £2,000 automatically every year without doing anything. So this is part of the scholarship. That being said, we do offer more than a scholarship with 50% off, but this is the student should apply to, and we offer it only for 4 students across the university. And for the master, it's actually the same. We offer 2,500 for the classroom base and £3,000 for the lab base, except MBA, we are not offering any scholarship. Also, this is very important that the people know that this is for this year. As for next year, when you are talking about the next intake, which is 2022, this will be announced once this intake is closed. So by the end of the month, yes, it will be very similar, but I am just saying this for the student to keep watching our website. One of the most important things as well, a lot of people ask about the scholarship for medicine and dentistry. Unfortunately, yes, we do offer both program, but no scholarship available for medicine and dentistry. As for the accommodation, which I think Nell said everything, that it's very similar, but I will add one thing for the student or the people who are listening to us. Just imagine that for the full year as an accommodation, student can pay around £5,000 as an average, while if he's in London or Manchester, they will pay at least 10 plus. So by calculation, every year you are saving only, I'm saying only, on accommodation around £5,000, which is times 3 years of education, which is a 1 year actually of fees. I hope this cover most of the question, as well as I shared our scholarship link on the chat.
And I'm sure Niall can do that as well later on, so students can see what different scholarships are. Okay, my next question is about subject areas and courses. And, you know, as Niall, Khalid, you both know there's that big debate around careers of the future, employability, you know, new courses are coming in, technology is being incorporated. And one of the questions that we've got here is it possible to do double majors, for example, psychology with business, etc. So I guess my question to both of you, starting with Niall, is would you want to tell us about any key interesting courses that Ulster is offering, or perhaps courses that have been really popular for the Middle East markets? And also, you know, in terms of being able to combine majors together, you know, what possibilities are available? You're on mute tonight, sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Fahad. So I suppose really for us, the courses and areas that are of most interest and that seem to continue to grow and encourage further growth and development would be within engineering and computing. Those are areas that just typically attract students in, partly because of the sort of interest in learning that skill, but also as well in the prospects, job prospects that those particular qualifications lead into. For us, for students coming in at degree level, we would definitely see a lot of students coming in to look at courses such as artificial intelligence, computer science, and even at master's level, it will go into that as well. But other areas, things like renewable energy engineering, are also very popular as well, as we see a change in sort of people's views and opinions on climate change and how that influences people's sort of direction and on what they wish to study and how they can influence change across some of these sectors. I suppose other courses that are typically very popular would be within sort of life and health sciences as well. So our biomedical sciences, we do optometry and pharmacy. Again, those areas where students perhaps are coming from quite a strong science background and are therefore looking for a course that will challenge them and, you know, give them an opportunity to increase and develop their skills in those areas. In terms of courses that are interesting or kind of quite new, a new course we have at Ulster it's a master's level program, and it's corporate law computing and innovation. So it's quite a broad category, but basically it's a course for students who have come from either a law background or a computing background, and it gives them the opportunity to come in at master's level and develop their skills, continue to develop their skills in the area that they've come from, but to then focus on the area that they haven't come from. So if someone has done an LLB, for example, in law, they would come onto this course and complete it as an MSc. And if someone has come from, for example, a BSc in computing science, they would come in and complete it as an LLM with law, computing and innovation. So really, it's the idea behind it is that lots of these huge companies now have or computing companies or online companies, or if you look at cryptocurrency, anything like that that has an online capacity, huge amounts of legal teams are now required to understand and be able to contribute within those particular industries. And this course has been specifically designed to meet that need. So again, that's, I suppose, one of the most recent courses. And again, highlighting and showcasing that as a university, we're continuing to evolve the education that we provide in line with where the demand is for students and recruitment and what employers are looking for. So that's where it would be from Ulster's perspective.
Okay. And Khalid?
Yes, I think always I'll start and cover most of the things. No, it's fine, which is very important. One of the main things that maybe I will add, because I don't want to repeat, one of the main things that most of the people, they should understand that North Ireland, only two universities, which is Queen's and Ulster, which means both universities are very connected with the work force, which means that our faculty, our team member, they are connected with the companies. That's why you will see that you can see the same program, but you have to make what we do, that we update the curriculum. So it can be the same title, but internally there is new subjects that can reflect what's happening in the market now. For example, we do have mechanical engineering. It's the same program for the last maybe 10 years, but the subject has been updated and changed. That's why we have some students now, they are in Caterpillar, they are doing the training and so on. So this is one of the most important. One of the unique, if we are talking about the unique subject, we do have
You're on mute, Khalid.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So, I'm saying that data analytics is one of the major new programs that we do have, and it's a top rank. And one of the most important things, like I have mentioned earlier, I'm not sure if I was on mute or not, that we are very connected with the workforce. That's why in North Ireland, we only have two universities, which is Queen's and Ulster. That's why our connection with the workforce and the new projects and the new employers and the new options that it's available in the market automatically reflect on our programs. That's why it can be the same program, the same title, but the subject is updated on daily basis. And for the unique program as well, mainly it covers engineering, law, pharmacy, health science. This is one of the top things that the Middle East students are applying to. One of the main things, just to give you a heads up, medicine. We have medicine and it's the same program, but our curriculum was updated last year due to COVID. So the curriculum itself, it's updated, but it's the same project. So this is one of the things that the people should know, that for both of us, we are always connecting our programs to the workforce.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. And I guess my next question is to you, Khalid, for a change. To begin with, obviously you've talked about medicine, and Queen's has medicine and dentistry. There are
Yes.
quite a few questions there. Dialdine has asked about entry requirements and fees. Her daughter's just finished her A-levels. I'm not sure if it'll be too late for her to join this intake. And Mohammed has asked about entry requirements as well. He's done the American curriculum. And guys, everyone who's watching us, please do use the chat and the Q&A function. Both Khalid and Niall are here to answer all your questions. So keep firing those questions away. And Khalid, over to you.
Yes, thank you so much. For medicine, I think a lot of question came across for medicine. So I'll give a quick view about medicine, about the application and the entry requirement. People, they have to understand that it's not easy that we accept all students in medicine or dentistry. We have a capacity. For example, Queens, we offer 26 seats for international students. So 26 seats, it's not a huge amount or seats for international students. That being said, if you need to apply for medicine for September 2022, you need to apply now through UCAS for now to get accepted for fall 2022. Because the process, it takes a huge time through, not only because most of the people think they have got straight A's, they will be accepted in medicine. It's not about this. Subjects is part, but we do have more than one interview face-to-face or through Zoom, which is very important because for the doctor, it's not only about grades, the personality, and what they have done extra while they are studying. Did they do any volunteering? And I will say one thing for all students who are interested to study medicine, this is the time. Now you can do a volunteer in any place due to COVID. So I think this can help you to put on your resume while you apply for the entry requirement, because I know this is totally different, because the entry requirement, it's totally different from one curriculum to another. I will put here a link for our entry requirement for medicine. It's a PDF file, include all the entry requirement, what the student gonna study, the fees and everything. So this is for medicine.
And you guys require UK CAT as well, right?
Yes, this is one of the requirements. So just to give the students all heads up, when the student apply, they apply through UCAS. So most of the students, they apply during this time while they are still studying. Why? Because they will apply and they will prepare for UCAS and do the UCAS and do their English, and still they will, in the next stage, they will submit their final grades while they are doing their interviews. So it takes around 9 to 10 months to get a result. Yeah. So I will tell you that the result for our medicine student just came last month or the month before, because it's very competitive, and the people should understand that we have limited seats. Yeah. That's why it take long, it take a lot of filtration. This is one thing. Second, which is very important for the students as well to know, there is no scholarship. Second, which is one of the most important, when you get accepted or you get an offer or a conditional offer and they ask you to reply and pay to book your seat, some people, they delay. Once they delay, they cannot. Even after that, if they want to get accepted, they can't, because this seat was removed and sent to somebody else. So there is simple, specific thing. It's very important, but as well, students should be prepared and apply 1 year before they are expecting to study. Last thing, we do not offer foundation for medicine and dentistry. We offer foundation for across all our program, except medicine and dentistry, only direct entry.
And I think, Khalid, it's quite important for everyone who's who's watching us today, because I know medicine, dentistry, they are quite popular in the Middle
Yes.
East region. And what Khalid has really summarized for you, it's true for most UK universities. So
Yes.
number one, the deadlines work 1 year in advance. So, if you're thinking about joining the university in 2022, you should be finalizing your applications right now. And I believe the deadline somewhere in October for
Yes.
medicine and dentistry. You've got to apply through UCAS. The second thing is, for most courses, the universities stipulate entry requirements. So they say, ABB or straight A's, that's entry requirements. If you meet it, you get a place. For medicine and dentistry, it doesn't work like that. So like Khalid was saying, in addition to your academics, they do look at your work experience, your personal statement, your overall profile. And UKCAT plays a huge part in these assessments, because UKCAT is a test that is standard, and everyone who's applying in that given intake is going to be taking that UKCAT test. So if you score really high in that UKCAT test, chances are you will be ahead in that queue. And finally, there are no scholarships for medicine and dentistry. And Khalid, can you give us a sense of how much it costs? So what is the fee for dentistry and medicine?
Yeah, so thank you so much, Fad. So the fees for our any pharmaceutical program is £32,000 plus. Every year, the student should pay 10,000 K extra, because the students are using the hospitals and they are using everything related to the Ministry of Health for North Ireland. That being said, for Queens, we have agreed to waive the £10,000 for the first year for all international students. The university will pay it. So the first year, the student will pay £32,000. That being said, second, third, and fourth, and fifth year, they will pay around 42,600.
Okay.
And this is only the fees.
Okay, great. And Niall, obviously, when we travel, obviously, around the world, attending exhibitions, meeting students, everyone, sometimes it seems that everyone wants to do medicine and dentistry, and not everyone is either qualified or they have the right backgrounds or they can afford, to study medicine and dentistry. So at Ulster, what alternative options are available for students, and also what would the career prospects look like, in that regard?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd just like to start also to explain here at Ulster, we do offer medicine, but it's a graduate entry medicine. So it's the MBBS, which means that it is specifically for students who have completed a bachelor degree in the first instance and then are choosing to come into medicine. So slightly different to what Queens have just explained about medicine, but it is an option perhaps if someone has studied a degree and then wish to now enter into medicine.
And this is very similar to what happens in the US. Students, only get into MBBS after a bachelor's degree. So a bachelor's degree in any health related subjects can get into Ulster for the graduate route.
Absolutely. In fact, for the MBBS, actually a student can come from various different backgrounds, so they don't actually need to come from a degree in health. It can actually be from various different backgrounds into the MBBS. But I've posted just on the chat there some information with links to the entry criteria, and it does state all of that detail there. But back to the question of what alternative careers students could look at. I suppose really it depends on what exactly a student's ambition is. And again, like all of these things, we have to look at cost. Khalid has just explained the cost of studying medicine and dentistry. They are extremely expensive courses to attend. Similarly, if a student wanted to still work within healthcare or in that region or in that area, or use their sciences effectively is what we're saying, we would offer, for example, biomedical science, we would offer pharmacy, we would offer optometry, we have nursing. So there are a range of courses that sort of very closely aligned to something like medicine. Obviously, they're not directly comparable, but I suppose what we're saying is that based on your skill set, if you've been strong in science and you want to work with people, for example, and within health or healthcare or something along those lines of, allied health, then these are the sorts of courses that you could consider. All of these other courses like biomedical science, pharmacy, optometry, they typically fall within that price bracket that I had mentioned at the very start of just under £15,000 per year. So a considerable difference in terms of overall cost. But again, it's important for an applicant or a student or someone who's interested in these to understand what the career is that they're intending or wishing to do. If you know in your heart of hearts that all you want to do is medicine, then perhaps one of these other courses may not satisfy that. So it's important to be aware of what your expectation is. But certainly these other programs are very, very attractive programs. We have fantastic facilities here at Ulster. Our pharmacy and optometry are ranked first and second in the UK for those particular programs. So we have a fantastic record on these particular courses for students who perhaps will not qualify to get into medicine directly, or as Khalid said, there are very limited spaces and you have to be realistic. If you have applied perhaps 1 year and you don't get in, and you maybe try again a second year, if you still don't get into various universities that you have applied to, it perhaps is worth considering an alternative route, so that you're not continually disappointed.
Okay, thank you, Niall. Minna has asked about PhD degrees in philosophy and business. Khalid, do you guys have these areas? And also, if you want to give a quick overview of how PhD applications work across all areas.
Okay, thank you, Fat, so much. So yes, we do offer PhD in different programs. Actually, we offer PhD and we offer a combined PhD, which is 4 years, because some students, they do not have a ready proposal. So we do offer a pre-PhD, which is 4 years, including the first year is like a diploma to help the student to do how to do the proposal, how to do the research, but this is in specific programs. As for the PhD, one of the main thing that when the student submit the PhD, we do have on our website that the student can go. There is a link for Find PhD, which lists all our program. One of the most important thing that the student maybe they are not considering when they are looking for a PhD, when they go for business, for example, when they find business, they have to go deep on the website and click on business, because under business, they will find a list of programs under business that they can do the PhD. That being said, some people think when they say, I need to do, let's say, social media, for example, and when they go to the website and they find only marketing, this means that we are not offering social media. No, we can. But we don't have a title under this subject. Yeah. So the student should go on the same page. There is something called Find the Supervisor. So they can check the supervisor, and they can check which supervisor they have a deep understanding on the area they want to apply to. And we take it further from there. They can they can reach out to me or reach out to the supervisor, including their proposal, their CV, which is one of the most important things as well. And then we can take it from there. One of the main things that the people, when they apply to PhD, and this is very important, they need the feedback in 1 week. They need the feedback in 10 days, which is, to be honest, it's very hard for a professor. He's dealing with hundreds and hundreds of students, that he read the proposal and go through it and see the student CV, because they have to understand that any supervisor will accept you to do a PhD, definitely he sees something that you will add value to the faculty, to the research area as well. That's why it takes maybe from 1 to 3 months. It depends on the supervisor, it depends on the program you are applying to. That being said, this doesn't mean that the supervisor will come back, say, yes, you are accepted, yes, you are rejected. Some supervisor, and I saw this by myself, they can come back to the student, tell them, you need to work a little bit more in this area, you need to enhance this area, and submit the proposal again. And we do have a good number of students from the Middle East across different countries, Saudi, Kuwait, Egypt, Jordan, Bahrain, Oman, and so on.
Okay, perfect. And Niall, what's the process like at Ulster?
Very, very similar to what Khalid has just explained. I think the key highlight really is that it's expectation of how quickly you're going to get a response. And I think it's really important to make students or applicants aware who want to do this level of PhD research. This is not just a quick decision that can be made in just a moment. There are a number of factors. It will be, looking at what current research the university is doing, and if your research proposal fits in line with what they're trying to do. Perhaps if someone else is already doing a similar project and they don't want duplication, and they have to look at all of that. They're going to look into availability of supervisors. Supervisors may already have 3, 4, 5 students doing PhDs, and they may simply not have capacity to take someone else on, but perhaps they're trying to look at schedules as to how that would work. So there are a lot of variables that have to be taken into consideration. It's not necessarily that your idea is not strong enough or that we don't like it. It may just not fit in with where the university currently is at that moment to take it on, and it can take time for those proposals to be read. As Khalid said, there are hundreds of applications and proposals that come in, and the university have to ensure that it is the right fit for that particular department. So that's what I would contribute to that.
Okay. And Jerby has asked about accommodation, and I know both of you have touched on that. But just to sort of recap, private accommodation versus on campus, is it easy enough to find private accommodation? Once students get there, what platforms can they use to find that, and would the university help them as well? Starting from you, Khalid.
Yes, thank you so much, Fad. One of the most important for Queens that any student got accepted, we are committed to provide them with accommodation. We have different type of accommodation. We have the student village, which like villas. We do have the city center, as well as private accommodation if the student is requesting. Of course, once the student arrives, we help him in all these things, and it depends on the student. That being said, I will copy what Nil said earlier, that we recommend that at least the first year the student should be on campus. Why? Because we want to make sure that everything is affordable for him. Everything is just walking distance to go to the faculty, to go to the gym, to classes, and so on. But yes, we are supporting the student for their choice, whatever they want.
What about you, Niall?
Sorry, I would echo that as well. We would always encourage students to stay in university campus accommodation when they first arrive, to familiarize themselves, to get settled in. We can provide students with links, for example, to local private accommodation, but again, this is something that we personally cannot monitor or vouch for. And so, like in any country, it's like if a student or anybody books a hotel or a bed and breakfast or a holiday or anything like that, there are certain things, if we are not as a university legally attached to this accommodation, we cannot stand over the conditions or anything that perhaps is right or wrong with that accommodation. Once a student then is in Northern Ireland, if they are here for a bachelor degree, for example, after that first year of living on campus, during that first year, it's a chance for them to, familiarize themselves with areas that they perhaps would want to live in, and areas that are convenient or more appealing to what their needs are and their day-to-day lifestyle. But it also means as well that they then have an opportunity to physically visit the accommodation before signing a contract for a 1-year accommodation. Once that is signed, you're effectively financially committed to paying that. And if you don't like the accommodation, then that's a decision that you would then have to live with. So we would encourage living in the first year in student accommodation for safety, for just familiarization, just for convenience and comfort, and for ease when you first arrive.
Yes, Fahad, I will just add one thing here. Students and families should understand it's not about money or how much the student going to pay in accommodation. It's about us. We want to make everything easier for the students. I will give you a simple thing. We do have a lot of Muslim students. They want to eat halal food. They want to see a butcher. They want to do this. If they went outside, they will not be sure where to find the mosque or where to pray. Yes, they can pray on campus. We have rooms. We have 2 big mosques in Belfast. But when they are on campus and get connected with the real existing student, in the beginning, they get used to know everywhere. They can go across the city, they know everything, and then it's up to them year 2 to go outside, have different accommodation, or stay on campus for year 2, year 3, and so on. So it's the student benefit. It's not the university. It's not our accommodation. It's nothing. It's about the student. That's
absolutely okay. And guys, we're in August right now, so the intake, next intake starts in September, and that tends to be the main intake for most universities. And so is it still possible for students to join either Queen's or Ulster in September if they've not applied so far? Secondly, what courses would be available in January, for students that might be considering that? And also, what are the key deadlines that students need to think about if they're wanting to start next year? So Niall, starting with you.
Yeah, certainly. So at this stage now, for the September 2021 intake, our applications have now closed. If you have submitted an application, just physically done the application online, but you're still have to upload and send in supporting documents, there is still time to do that. So we have a deadline of the 16th of August for final documentation and all your entry criteria to be met by that date. And then for students who are who have completed that on time and are trying to get their visa to come to the UK for September 2021, we have a deadline of the 30th of August for all details and everything to be submitted for us to issue students with a CAS, which is the process and the document required for applying for the visa to come to study in the UK. So if you have not applied yet for September 2021, unfortunately, that is now closed. There is an intake for January 2022. Here at Ulster, we have a range of master's courses. Unfortunately, we don't offer foundation courses or bachelor degree courses in our January intake. So this would primarily be for master's programs. There are a range of them within business. There are a few engineering, there's some law, but these will all be listed. If you have a look on our website, if you type in the course you're interested in, you'll see it will tell you the intakes available. So it will either say September or September and January. And if it is a January intake, then you can obviously apply. Applications for January will open in around 2 to 3 weeks time from now. So once we are past the deadline for this September intake, so you can apply immediately. And for September 2022, applications will also be open for that as well in the next 2 weeks, and you can start to submit your application, even if it's just a case of submitting your application to find out what the entry criteria is and if your qualifications will match and be suitable. But the most important thing is to be organized. Students who are organized and apply early are the students who have the least problems to have to deal with, or the least time restraints, when it comes to applying for their visas, getting their documentation together, bank statements for their visas, sorting out flights, accommodation, all of that. The less rushed you are, the more enjoyable the experience will be applying to university. But if you leave it to the last minute, then unfortunately, you'll just have to, there will be turbulence along the way in terms of meeting those deadlines and putting yourself under pressure.
Okay, what about you, Khalid?
Yes,
Has Niall answered everything? Or?
Most of the things. Thank you, Niall. So I will echo him in a lot of things, but we are still accepting applications for this fall for some of the programs, not all of the programs. It depends on the program. Mainly for undergraduate, we still have a good number of degrees are still open. For masters, most of the programs are actually full. We cannot accept any as of now. For the intake, so our intake will start on 21st of September. Do we have a January intake? Yes, we do have a January intake through our international year one and foundation through Queen's Intro. That this is available and the student can start, which they will finish in 3 years as well. As for us directly, we mainly do a September intake. Yes, we do have January intake for some specific master's program. Not all the programs, but some specific master's program are available to start in January. And also to add a couple of things for most of the students, it's very important to, if you are really keen to study and go in this September, then you should have already applied, or if not, then you should apply today or tomorrow maximum, because the turnaround time. So most of our admission team now are very busy and for converting the application, for issuing the CAS, for the visa, for the accommodation. There is a lot of things happening. That's why a lot of our admission are fully loaded with work. But still, we can accept some students in our program for this fall, but this will be open for maybe couple of days and then it will be closed because as I mentioned, it depends on the capacity and number of seats available.
Okay. And I guess one of the positive things, obviously there's been a lot of doom and gloom globally, but one of the exciting things about the UK is the post-study work visa that is being reintroduced with students getting an opportunity to work up to 2 years after they graduate. So, I'd want to get a sense from you, Niall, and then Khalid, like what are the opportunities that would be available for students once they graduate from a Northern Irish institution, within the ecosystem? What are the kind of job opportunities that are available? And also, how would the university support the students while they're studying to help them become more employable?
Yeah, absolutely. I think like any of these sorts of events, the key reason why students or applicants or people who are joining us today, the key reason people are interested is because they are looking into their future career. They're looking at what their prospects are for their job, for their future. And so as a university, we very much are aligned to being that support network for a student throughout their education journey with us, to give them the skills, to provide a curriculum that is in line with what employers need and the skills that they require to actually gain that employment when they complete their studies with us. In terms of students, whilst they are with us, if we look at students on a bachelor degree program, many of our courses do have an integrated placement as part of them. It's a 1-year paid internship, a fantastic opportunity to gain skills directly in that particular industry that they're studying, and to bring those skills with them, as they start their actual career journey. We do have careers teams here at the university as well. Students can use those teams, for example, for support if they're looking for part-time work during their studies. But what we find is typically that it is actually course directors who help and support students throughout their studies. Many of our academic staff are actively involved in their particular industry and have connections with organizations and businesses and companies locally and nationally and internationally. And we do bring employers in so each department would bring in appropriate employers to try and find graduates. There are various graduate schemes and graduate fairs that run and operate to try and give students that opportunity to apply for jobs. And with the introduction of the study route, that students will be able to stay for that post-study work visa, really, those 2 years after. It gives students the opportunity, they'll be familiar with Northern Ireland, they will have had an opportunity to either work in a placement or get connections through their course director. And really, the emphasis becomes on the student then to seek out those opportunities as well. We can provide them with the information, we can provide them and give them the direction. We've given them the education and the skills, but ultimately what you must remember is each individual is responsible for their own opportunities and their own successes. We can provide and give them as much support as possible. We can lead them, but the reins need to be taken by that individual student as well.
Okay. Anything you'd like to add, Khalid?
I just want to add something I have mentioned earlier. You remember, Fahd, when I said that we are always updating our course, our curriculum. Why? Because this comes from our connection with what's happening in the market. That's why most of our program that we have a combined 1 year of placement that the student can work and gain salary, also through the faculty and through our team on campus. They will have huge support, not only on daily basis or on the CV. It's about what they are interested in, what's their goal. We all the team are there to help, their faculty, the career advisor team that we have on campus. But again, like I will echo Neil in this, it's about the student. It's always about the student, because if the student is keen and he's very creative and he's talented, he will find what he's looking for, and we will just be as a supporting value for him to just guide him to go to the right track depending on what he's capable or want to do.
Yeah. And I guess my final question to both Niall and Khalid, obviously we've talked a lot about the support available for students once they get to Northern Ireland, but what is available for students through the application process? So are you guys organizing a lot of virtual open days? Will they have an opportunity to speak to academics or other students? And how can they continue the conversation to know more and to get support through their journey of applying and then finalizing their decision? Niall?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll round it up quite quickly here. So basically, I think when students do first apply, if you're applying from the Middle East region, I'm a key point of contact. You're welcome to keep in touch with me directly through email or through WhatsApp as well, and whatever's convenient for you. Once you actually start that application process, our admissions team will be in direct contact with you and give you guidance on what documentation or information they still require. We do continue to have events that happen throughout the year. If you have a look on our website, if you just type, for example, online events, Ulster University, a search engine will bring you directly to the page, but you'll see the various events. You're welcome to attend those online. We do have drop-in sessions throughout the year as well. But I think most importantly, if you read the information, if you're interested in the course, get your application in, start that process, and then all of the support network, whether it's myself, our admissions team, our visa compliance team, our student experience team, accommodation teams, they will all jump in at the appropriate times to help support and guide you with that information.
Right, Khalid?
Yes, it's a very, I will echo, Nell, it's the same. For us, we are always available for the student, not only once they land, but from the first stage when they are trying even to submit. So I have just shared my email and my WhatsApp number. Students and families are welcome to text me, to send me an email. And here we can provide one-on-one session. We can provide the help on how to apply, even if they applied and they need the feedback. We are always supporting not only us as international recruiters for the region, but through the admission as well. Once they apply, the admission will come back to them automatically if there is missing document. Also, we are always having a lot of virtual events every couple of weeks, which is available on our website as well, that we can do. Sometimes it's general, about undergraduate, about master, about specific program like medicine, like pharmacy, like engineering. A lot of things are happening across our faculties, our region, on monthly basis. And the support is always there, but most of the time the people are maybe embarrassed to ask, or they are not that confident to reach out to maybe me or Nil or even the admission to ask for a support. But we are always there. We will be more than happy to help the student even before submitting the application, or through the process if they need any help. And you have mentioned something very important, that they can talk to the faculty, they can talk. There is a lot of students, they want to talk or communicate with an existing student in this program. Yes, we can do that. Yes, but it depends in which stage they want us to connect them with the student, and if the student is available in the same time.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Niall. Thank you, Khalid. Thank you to all our attendees as well, whoever, wherever you were joining in from today. It was quite an interactive session. We were able to cover a lot of different topics. Big thank you to Stav and Viva-Mundo as well for bringing us these series of webinars, giving us an opportunity to share the exciting opportunities that are available in Northern Ireland. And finally, I'd say keep the conversation going. Niall and Khalid have shared their contact details, and we'll see you very soon with another Study in Northern Ireland webinar in the near future. And back to Stav.
Thank you, Fahad and Khalid and Niall. You've all done amazingly and given so much information to the students today. I just want to put a quick note to the students who are watching this on record. If you do want any of the contact details, do let us know and we can always send those over to you. It's not a problem. I'm sure that the guys will be reaching out to you in the next few days post-webinar. Any last words, guys?
None for me, just to say thank you everyone for attending. We hope you found it useful. We're very open to keeping the conversation going. Stay in touch, get your applications in for next year, and most importantly, do your research. Go online and do your research.
Yes, for me, thank you so much for everybody attended today, and good luck in your career, your future. We are always there if you need any help, but like Nell said, do your own research. Always think what you want to do after graduation, not about the program, about once you graduate, what you are aiming to do. This is very important for your future. Thank you.
Okay, thanks everybody, and have a great day or evening wherever you are. All right, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.